Even Donald Trump, your friend, Donald Trump, he said, you black people, you should vote for me. What do you have to lose? You're poor.
African American communities have suffered.
That's 500 years. We have been reduced to scorn, reproach. We've been nobodies. A scorn and derision among the nations.
You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed.
Yo, welcome back to my YouTube space. I am the Kenyan Beast, of course. We are doing it the African way every day, every time. Now, this video I'm going to share with you, I know you will love it. Donald sometimes back said some things about black people. Of course, he said the truth about black people. But again, he spoken the mind of white people, what white people think about black people. Now, there is some pastors here, they were talking about some things, and they decided to share this video of Donald Trump, and I decided, let me share with you all this topic, what they were talking about, black people being poor. Now, you know, Trump some times back called black people poor, and he told them, you know what, you don't have nothing to lose. Try something new. Give me your votes, because we all know you're poor. We all know you have bad education system. We all know you are suffering. So just try me. Let's watch this video.
For almost I want y'all to count, 5 centuries. That's 500 years. We have been reduced to scorn, reproach. We've been nobodies. A scorn and derision among the nations. And now when we find out we are the children of Israel, God's chosen people, we are supposed to apologize, I thought. We are supposed to apologize. Now that we wake up from the doodle hill and we say, hey, take this doodle off me. I'm God's chosen people. No. That's not right. That's racist. You are racist when you say that. What? I've been living in doodle all my life. Now I find out I'm something great and I got to apologize for that? Can you read that for me? Deuteronomy 4, 7 and 8.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 7. For what nation is there so great, who hath God so nigh unto them?
Did he use the word great when he spoke about us? What nation is there so great? Go ahead.
Who hath God so nigh unto them? As the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for. And what nation is there so great, that hath statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day?
So we have always been a great people, and we shall be so again. Christ ensured it. Our greatness shall return. Now, I mentioned doodle a few minutes ago. People looked at me. You just nasty. I'm not being nasty. Doodle is in the Bible, and we live in doodle. Can you give me that in 1 Samuel chapter 2? We live in, I know you think in your little houses, and I don't care how nice your home is. It's doodle. If you look at where you came from, talking about historically, to where you are today, you're going to realize you live in squalor. You live in fecal matter. And the Bible says that.
1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 8. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill.
You know what a dunghill is? A hill of SH. Doodle. The poor man and the beggar he's talking about the Israelites. This is prophetic about our people being called the poor. Even Donald Trump, your friend, Donald Trump, said a day ago, find that video, he said, you black people, you should vote for me. What do you have to lose? You're poor. You have bad education.
I like him.
What else did he say?
That dude talking like that?
Can you show the video? Send it, because y'all ain't going to believe me by me saying you think I'm being racist. I'm not being racist. I'm just telling you.
I can't get enough of it. He is so outlandish. You either gonna wake up or you're gonna die, because he says the craziest stuff. You gotta wake up after some of this stuff. You just can't remain asleep after the crazy rhetoric that this man speaks.
Right, but you know what? Him and Hillary's saying the same thing.
Yeah,
She's just more.
She's just cool. Right.
What is the
She's
word?
skilled. She's skilled.
She's skilled
professional.
when she speaks. Right.
In her diction.
But the outcome is the same.
Absolutely.
You send it to him.
2 heads of a same snake.
You got to find Donald Trump's speech, his recent one.
Damn, I got to see that. I didn't even see it either.
Oh, it's good.
I know that's
I got to
good.
laugh on that thing.
Man, I
couldn't stop
got to
laughing.
see that.
And he said it in front of an all-white audience with one nigga in the
man,
back.
I love that. One nigga on the back.
Look how much African American communities have suffered under Democratic control. To those I say the following. What do you have to lose by trying something new like Trump? What do you have to lose?
See the nigga in the back? I told you I didn't make that up.
I say it again. What do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good.
Back
you have
up.
no
back
jobs.
Up, back up. We missed it. Back it
58%
up.
of your youth is unemployed. Look how much African American communities have suffered under Democratic control. To those I say the following. What do you have to lose by trying something new like Trump? What do you have to lose? I say it again. What do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose? And at the end of 4 years, I guarantee you that I will get over 95% of the African American vote. I promise you.
See, I thought I made this up. I didn't make this up. I just paid close attention.
Look how much
He went back. You saw him point to the black woman. He went like that. This nigga gets it right here. Yeah.
Y'all, some of y'all looking up here, they say, how in the world could these men laugh at this? Well, it is funny. It is funny. But in the real sense, it shows you how destroyed of a people we are. That's the reason why I said what I said about him. Because what he's actually doing, he's actually showing us the filth of our minds right in front of us. So we have no excuse to remain this way. So whenever the medicine, like the bishop is bringing out, whenever this medicine comes along to clean our people up, I'm going to say what he said. What the hell is wrong with us when we don't accept this medicine to get our minds right? That's the question. Oh, man, that thing was beautiful. I thought I'd never see the day. The man just come up and say these things. I can't believe
listen to this, Deacon Yausa. Really, that man is speaking the things that white America really want to say. A long time ago, they want to say it. He really speak their mind for them. Because when you see a man like that, talk like that, you see the white people, they all applaud to that. That's really what's in their heart they want to say about black people. But they feel like this man right here, since he's in light, he can say that it's nobody gonna get hurt by it. The reason we laughing because we've been telling you that for years.
There you go.
That's why we laughing. You have to listen to the white man tell you yourself. You're in the lower state now. You say, oh, I thought I had it going on. Oop.
Hey, I'll tell you something. We used to do this in camp. You remember? We be downtown, and while the brothers are speaking, we had this white man that would come to the camp. And do you know the name? You know what I'm talking about. Bring him up while the men are teaching Israel. Jake out in the audience, they ain't really paying attention. Then they have to call the white man over, and he knew that he was being called for that reason. So he get the microphone, and while he's talking, the Negroes haven't figured out that a white man is speaking yet. So you know what the priest would say? He said, "Hey, Negroes, I got a white man speaking now. Pay attention," and they listen. In other words, he has to come and co-sign and say the things to get your attention. Otherwise, it don't ring home. So the thing like what Deacon Lobert's bringing out, He came forward and said exactly what so-called white people have on their minds. He's bringing that information out. And they all happy about it because they always wanted to say it. They always wanted to say it. And the fact that he's saying it, maybe we'll listen. He's giving the statistics and all of that. Like we don't know it, but we're the damn victims of it. He's telling us something that we already know. Wow, that's amazing.
That goes back. Read that again. Where were you at in Samuel? 1 Samuel chapter 2.
1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 8. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust.
So we are the poor, meaning poor in spirit. God is going to raise us up out of the dust, which is a low estate. Go ahead.
And lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill.
Why is it calling us beggars? Because we're the ones on welfare, unemployment, always want a job. Can you hire me, please? And we were the kings and gods of the earth. Now it's calling us poor and beggars. Read that beggar part again.
And lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill.
The dunghill. Dung means doo-doo. S-H-I-T. That's what dung is. That's the life we live. And you got to see it. I'm going to tell you how bad it is. Some of y'all don't know. Those of y'all that live in the projects, I'll say it like that. The projects. You ever have cops go to your house? Let me tell y'all a secret. Some of y'all might know. Some of you might not know. They talk about how nasty blacks and Latinos are. I ain't talking about the black cops so much, but the white cops, they do. They go, you see this filth? Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, God, don't sit down. There's a roach will fall right on you. No, I'm not saying that. These are things that's common conversation. Common. But which goes back to the scripture that says he raises up the beggar from the dunghill. The way we live is not, and that goes for those of you who may have a big house. It's still a dunghill from where you came from. Okay? When you once had your own plot of land, things of that nature, now you're paying taxes and things of that sort. Read that again for me.
He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes.
You see that? To set us where?
Among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory.
God is going to make us to inherit the throne of glory. Was that it?
For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them.
Y'all see that? So everything is meant for our benefit.
Welcome back. Now, I think this is what a lot of white supremacy mind people are thinking about every day. And they just don't want to tell us because it will be sound like racism towards black people. But because this was a president talking, it passed. This video was back then when Donald Trump wanted to be voted again. I think 7 years back. Yeah, 7 years. Yeah, 7 years maybe. Maybe, I think so. Donald Trump told black people that they have nothing to lose. Poverty in you, discrimination in you. We know what you are going through. It just told me that white people, the white government knows what black people are going through. And they continue doing that. They know they have restricted the health. They know there is no equality. They know these things. Yes, I know. We have a lot of black people who have thrived, who are rich. Yes, they are. But when you see the community, few of them are just like that. But the other percentage are struggling. Even if you are rich, but you are struggling to penetrate through that, to maintain that, So I think this is something that white people want to tell us for so long. And they know that about us. And that's what they have been taught, that black people are poor. See? And black people are there celebrating and shouting and, like, yeah, a problem. We're giving you my God damn it. Why? What were you celebrating? Like, this guy knows my problem, but this problem has been there for 500 years. People knew for 500 years what us black people we are going through. And you are using that to get our votes. You are using that to gain our trust. He was given the vote. He was the president. I don't know if black people came on well. Black people being termed poor is a stereotype. It's a stereotype. I know. Yes, there is some things we are going through discrimination and everything. But being said, black people are poor, that is stereotypes. Of course, we are rich. But generally, we are trying. We are managing. We are just managing. We are struggling. For to see a black person have raised his head, he or she are struggled a lot. And the reason why there is poverty rate into black community is high. Number one is because of historical discrimination. You know, slavery, segregation, Jim Crow law prevented black people or black Americans to accumulate wealth for centuries. Even after legal barriers were removed, practically like redlining and job discrimination continued to limit economic opportunities. Laws that were there, they, restricted black Americans or black people to be rich, because for you to get supremacy, you need to be rich. Money talks, yeah? And white people knew that. And that's why they gained a lot of wealth so that they can control everything. And for us, black people, we were termed as slaves. Nothing good from us. And that's why I was telling, for you to see a black man or a black lady rich, he has gone through a lot. He has suffered, unlike white people. And they know this. They know we are struggling. They know the weakness. They know where to handle. They know where to polish so that we can get good life as black Americans. But they can't do that. They can't. We have wealth gap. Due to past injustice, many black families started with less generational wealth compared to white families. Wealth is often passed down through generation, and without that head start, it's harder to build financial stability. I will give you my example. I was born in a family where there was no any generational wealth. Grandmother struggled to get a piece of land, just a piece to build a house. Now the mother was suffering nothing. Now I am a boy, I'm a man, and I've just come out. There's nothing to be passed on me. No education passed on me. Yeah. For all who think that I am well educated, no. There was no education passed to me. So I have been struggling all along. The little English I'm speaking and the history that I know is because I have sat down and read my books and read these books. It was harder for me to know what history means. It was harder for me to speak English. It was harder for me just to know anything. But I tried hard and harder. It took me a lot of years to understand things, how it's going. For me to decide to be a Pan-African, it took me a lot of years just to know who is the president of this country. Oh, what is Ghana growing? Oh, which resources is coming from which country? Who are black Americans? Who created this? Who discovered this? Who is Marcus Garvey? It took me a lot. I go hard on it. If I could be past generational wealth, education, I got education, I think things could be a little bit easier on me. But because I had to struggle, there it is. So wealth gap between white people and black people has made this poverty to continue, because it's harder for black people to gain that wealth because they are starting from scratch, starting from down. Step 1, step 2, back to step 1, step 2, step 3, back to step 1 until you reach step 10. It's harder for black people. I understand. Another thing is employment and wage gaps. Now, black Americans have historically faced discrimination in hiring and wages. They are also more likely to work in low-paying industry and have higher employment rates, and they are working for more hours. And Trump said this. And your unemployment rate in your community is higher. So choose me. Vote me. Try me. I'll give you better life. Bruh, it has been 500 years, man. More than. We have been building this country with low wages. What are you going to do? Another thing is education disparities. Public schools in predominantly black neighborhood often receive less funding, which affect education quality and future job opportunities, and making the continuation of poverty in black community, because education is the key. And if you lack good education, it's very hard to penetrate in this society. The society needs people who are well educated, critical thinkers, innovators. So it's hard. And one day I was talking about a video in Africa where I was saying there are cutting education in our families and our youths. They don't want them to be educated. So because once you have an educated society, this is a society that has opened the eyes and they are seeing far, and that's what they don't want. So these factors is making black Americans or black people to continue living into poverty. Okay, and if you find black Americans or black people who have grown wings, it took them sweat and blood to do that. Another thing is housing and redining. Black Americans were systematically denied home ownership opportunities through criminal lending practices, which limited their ability to build wealth through real estates. U.S. criminal justice system affects black communities, leading to higher incarceration rates, which disrupt families and economic progress. And these are just the factors that I've told you that black people are going through and being seen as we are poor. And it's because the system is limiting us to grow wings. It's hindering us. We have a lot of barriers, for you to break the barrier, to beat we call it the matrix, to escape the matrix, to move from the block. It's so hard for a black person, so hard. Even for her or him to study, so hard to get good studies. The neighborhood, how the system has placed the neighborhood, police brutality, systematic racism, discrimination. It is hard for a black person or a black youth to come through from this and get there. White people knows that. And Donald Trump spoke the mind of black people. And when these pastors were preaching here, they were talking about we are the chosen people. Yes, we are the chosen people. And the chosen people, we did not realize that some years back, but now we are realizing it. They are saying we are racist by saying as black people we are the chosen ones. It's because they do not want us to appreciate or to own that. Owning that is what they don't want us to do. They want us to own things like, we are poor. They want us to own things that like we are suffering. They want us to own things like we are being discriminated. We are facing a lot through racism. They want us to own and appreciate and accept that we are suffering, but they don't want us to appreciate that or to accept that we are growing wings. Yeah. I think so. So Donald Trump on this video just said the mind of white people. Yes, he spoke the truth about black people being poor or poverty. These are the things that the system have put there. They know what they are doing. And it's something they have been knowing for more years, a lot of years. It's not a new thing. It's just white people cannot tell us directly that you're poor because they will be termed maybe in a bad way. Okay? Tell me what you think in the comment section about this video. Do you like it? If you like it, subscribe, share, and comment. Black people, it's time. Until next episode, peace be with you.